Elena, wait.
Oh my God!
Elena Carter slammed the conference room door open so hard that it bounced against the wall. The loud bang silenced the entire executive floor. Every head turned. Ryan Whitmore jerked away from Vanessa Hale so quickly that the stack of presentation folders beside them crashed onto the table. Vanessa slowly straightened her blazer with a smug smile. Ryan's face drained of color. Elena, he stammered. Before he could finish. Smack. The sound of Elena's slap echoed through the glass-walled room. Nobody breathed. Nobody moved. Ryan held his burning cheek, staring at her in disbelief. "You've lost your mind," he shouted. Elena's eyes glistened, but her voice never trembled. "I lost my mind the day I believed you deserved my loyalty." Vanessa folded her arms. "Well, this is awkward." Elena looked directly at her. "You knew he was engaged." Vanessa shrugged. "I knew he wasn't happy." Ryan stepped forward. "Enough. You're embarrassing yourself." Elena laughed bitterly. "No, Ryan. You embarrassed yourself." The silence became unbearable. Employees gathered outside the conference room, pretending they weren't listening. Ryan pointed toward the door. "You've always been like this." "Like what?" "Predictable." His words landed harder than the slap. "You schedule every minute of your life. You think love is planning calendars and making lists." He shook his head. "I got tired of it." Vanessa smirked. "I'm spontaneous." Ryan nodded without hesitation. "Exactly." He looked back at Elena. "You're safe." His voice became colder. "You're boring." The words pierced straight through her heart. For 6 years, she had stood beside him. She stayed during his unemployment. She helped him prepare presentations. She paid bills when he couldn't. She celebrated every promotion. She believed every promise. Now, he couldn't even pretend to feel guilty. Vanessa walked over until she stood inches away. "If it makes you feel any better." She smiled sweetly. "He chose me." Elena stared at her for several seconds. Then she smiled. Not because she was happy, because she finally understood. "You didn't steal a good man." She looked at Ryan. "You stole a dishonest one." Ryan rolled his eyes. "Oh, spare us the dramatic speech." Elena nodded slowly. "You're right." She removed the engagement ring from her finger. The tiny diamond sparkled beneath the office lights. Ryan frowned. "What are you doing?" She gently placed it on the conference table. "I'm returning something that never belonged to me." Without another word, she walked away. Only after the elevator doors closed did the tears finally fall. 3 weeks later, Elena barely recognized herself. The cheerful woman who used to arrive first at work had disappeared. She ignored phone calls, skipped dinners, spent entire afternoons staring out her apartment window. Her phone buzzed again. Jasmine Brooks. Again. Elena sighed before answering. "I'm alive." "I wasn't asking if you were alive." Jasmine replied immediately. "I was checking if you've officially become one with your couch." Elena couldn't help smiling a little. "I'm working on it." "No." Jasmine's voice softened. "You're hiding." "I'm healing." "There's a difference." Silence. Finally, Elena whispered. "I gave him everything." "I know. I wasn't perfect." "No one is." "So why wasn't I enough?" Jasmine didn't answer immediately. Instead, she asked quietly, "Do you think someone cheating means the person they betrayed wasn't enough?" Elena frowned. "No." "Then why are you making yourself the exception?" Tears filled Elena's eyes again. "I just don't understand." "You don't have to," Jasmine replied. "You only have to understand one thing." "What?" "You survived." Before Elena could respond, another call came through. "Human Resources." She answered. "Miss Carter?" "Yes. We've approved your leave requests, but beginning Monday, we need you back in the office." Her stomach tightened. "I understand." After hanging up, she sat silently. Monday suddenly felt terrifying. Monday morning arrived far too quickly. As Elena stepped inside Sterling Creative Group headquarters, every conversation stopped. People looked away. Some whispered. Others pretended to type. The elevator doors opened. She walked toward the conference room where the weekly executive meeting was already beginning. She quietly took her usual seat, then froze. Ryan wasn't sitting beside her anymore. Vanessa was. She smiled. "Good morning." Elena didn't answer. The CEO entered. "Before we begin," he smiled proudly, "I'd like everyone to congratulate our new creative director." The room erupted into applause. Vanessa stood. "Thank you." She looked directly at Elena. "I'm excited to lead this incredibly talented team." Ryan clapped the loudest. Elena felt sick. The CEO continued. Since creative now reports directly to Director Hale. He turned toward Elena. You'll be working under Vanessa beginning today. The words echoed inside her head. Under Vanessa. After everything. The meeting finally ended. Employees slowly filed out. Vanessa called after her. Elena. She stopped. Vanessa walked over holding a thick project folder. You've spent 8 months developing the Falcon campaign. Elena nodded cautiously. It's mine. Vanessa smiled. Not anymore. She took the folder. I'll be presenting it personally. Ryan leaned casually against the doorway. It'll get better results. Elena looked between them. You stole my project. Vanessa tilted her head. No. I reassigned it. Ryan folded his arms. You should be grateful she even kept you on the account. Elena's hands clenched into fists. You know that campaign inside out. Ryan shrugged. Business isn't fair. No. Elena replied quietly. It isn't. She turned and walked away before they could see the tears threatening again. That evening, Jasmine practically dragged Elena into her apartment. She handed her a mug of hot chocolate. No excuses. Elena managed a weak smile. They promoted the woman he cheated with. I know. They took my campaign. I know. They made me report to her. I know. Elena buried her face in her hands. I'm tired. Jasmine knelt in front of her. No. She gently lifted Elena's chin. You're wounded. Same thing. No. Jasmine's eyes burned with determination. Wounds heal. Elena looked away. I don't even know who I am anymore. Jasmine stood and walked toward a framed photo sitting on the shelf. It showed Elena receiving an industry award 2 years earlier. Confident. Fearless. Smiling. Jasmine held it up. Who is she? Elena stared silently. That's the woman who built campaigns everyone copied. The woman who worked twice as hard as everyone else. The woman who earned respect before Ryan ever became a manager. She placed the frame into Elena's hands. He didn't create her. Vanessa didn't destroy her. So stop acting like your story ended because 2 selfish people made selfish choices. Elena stared at the picture for a long moment. A slow breath escaped her lips. Then another. The sadness was still there. The anger too. But beneath both, something else awakened. Resolve. She looked up at Jasmine. What if I fail? Jasmine smiled. Then fail moving forward. What if they laugh? Give them a reason to stop. What if I can't become the woman I used to be? Jasmine shook her head. Don't become the woman you used to be. She smiled wider. Become someone they'll never be able to underestimate again. Elena slowly stood. She wiped the last tear from her face. Her shoulders straightened. Her voice became calm. I'm done crying. Jasmine grinned. That's my girl. Elena walked to the window and looked out over the city lights. Somewhere out there, a better version of her was waiting. And this time, no one would ever take her power away again. If you're enjoying Elena's journey so far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments. What would you have done if you caught your fiancé cheating the way Elena did? The story is only getting started. A month later, Elena barely resembled the woman who had walked out of that conference room in tears. She no longer rushed to impress anyone. She arrived on time, did her work, ignored the whispers, and left with her head held high. That change irritated Vanessa more than any argument ever could. One Thursday afternoon, Vanessa walked into Elena's cubicle and tossed an elegant black envelope onto her desk. The company received 2 invitations to the Hartwell Children's Foundation Gala. Ryan and I are already attending, but the board insists someone from the creative department should represent us too. Elena looked at the envelope. So why give it to me? Vanessa smiled. Because I'd love to see you pretending you're still important. Ryan chuckled from the doorway. Try not to embarrass the company. Elena calmly closed the folder she was working on. I'll represent the company with dignity. She looked directly at Ryan. Something you're no longer qualified to talk about. Ryan's smile disappeared. Vanessa grabbed his arm. Don't waste your breath. They walked away. For the first time, Elena didn't feel defeated. She simply got back to work. That evening, Jasmine burst into Elena's apartment, carrying 3 dresses. No excuses. You're going. I wasn't planning not to. Jasmine froze dramatically. Wait, did confidence just answer the door? Elena laughed. A little. Jasmine hugged her. I've missed that laugh. Hours later, the ballroom sparkled beneath crystal chandeliers. The city's wealthiest business leaders, celebrities, and investors filled the room. Soft music drifted through the air. Elena adjusted her navy blue evening gown. "I don't belong here." Jasmine linked their arms. Neither did half the people in this room before they became successful. Just then, a familiar voice interrupted. "Well, look who's here." Ryan. Perfectly tailored tuxedo. Confident smile. Vanessa stepped beside him wearing a glittering silver gown. She deliberately raised her left hand. A diamond ring sparkled beneath the lights. Elena recognized it immediately. It was almost identical to the one Ryan had once promised to replace with something bigger after they got married. Vanessa noticed Elena looking. "Oh." She smiled sweetly. "You like it?" Ryan slipped his arm around Vanessa. "It suits her." Jasmine muttered under her breath. "I could accidentally spill juice on both of them." Elena almost laughed. Instead, she said quietly, "No." She turned away. "I'm done giving them free space in my mind." As she walked toward the terrace doors, Ryan watched her leave. His smile slowly faded. "She's different," he murmured. Vanessa looked irritated. "Good." "No." Ryan frowned. "She doesn't look broken anymore." Outside, the cool night breeze washed over Elena's face. The noise from the ballroom faded. Finally, "Peace. You escaped too?" A deep voice came from the other end of the rooftop garden. Elena turned. A tall man stood overlooking the city skyline. His charcoal suit fit perfectly. One hand rested casually in his pocket. The other held a glass of sparkling water. His expression was calm, confident, unreadable. "I'm sorry," Elena said. "I didn't realize someone was already out here." He smiled faintly. "The roof belongs to everyone." She nodded. "I'll leave." "You don't have to." Something about his voice made her stop. He looked toward the city. "Loud rooms exhaust me." Elena smiled. "I thought billionaires loved attention." He glanced sideways. "What makes you think I'm a billionaire?" She shrugged. "You have that look." "What look?" "The kind that says everyone else worries about impressing you." For the first time, he laughed. A genuine laugh. "I've never heard that one before." They stood in comfortable silence. Finally he asked, "What were you escaping from?" She answered honestly, "My past." "And did it follow you here?" She looked through the glass wall into the ballroom. Ryan and Vanessa were laughing together. "Unfortunately." He followed her gaze. "Someone hurt you." She looked surprised. "Is it that obvious?" "No." He replied quietly. "I recognized the expression." She studied him carefully. "What does someone like you have to be lonely about?" His smile disappeared. "Power attracts crowds." He looked back toward the city. "It rarely attracts honesty." Before Elena could respond, Jasmine appeared at the rooftop entrance. "There you are." She stopped the moment she saw the stranger. Her eyes widened almost comically. "Oh," she whispered. "Oh my goodness." The man politely nodded. "I'll leave you ladies." As he walked away, Jasmine grabbed Elena's arm so tightly it almost hurt. "Do you know who that is?" Elena blinked. "No." "That," Jasmine whispered, "is Adrian Kingsley." "The Adrian Kingsley?" "The founder of Kingsley Global Holdings." Elena stared toward the elevator. "The billionaire?" "The billionaire." Jasmine looked like she might faint. "People say cabinet ministers wait weeks for meetings with him." Elena laughed nervously. "Then why was he standing alone?" Jasmine smiled. "Maybe because everyone else is too intimidated to treat him like a human being." An hour later, Elena was preparing to leave when she heard footsteps behind her. "Miss Carter." She turned. Adrian stood there. He held out a simple black business card. "I enjoyed our conversation." She looked at the card but didn't take it. "What is this?" "My private number." She raised an eyebrow. "You just hand that to strangers?" "I almost never do." Silence stretched between them. He continued, "I have coffee that tastes better than the champagne they're serving." She smiled. "That's a bold claim." "I don't make claims I can't prove." She hesitated. "I don't even know you." "No," he admitted. "But I'd like to." She searched his face. There was no arrogance, no pressure, no expectation, only sincerity. She slowly accepted the card. "I'll think about it." Adrian nodded once. "That's all I'm asking." 2 nights later, Elena found herself standing outside the entrance to Adrian's penthouse building. She almost turned around 3 separate times. Finally, she stepped inside. The elevator opened directly into an elegant penthouse overlooking the city. Adrian was waiting near the windows. "I wasn't sure you'd come." "I wasn't sure either." He smiled. "I'm glad we were both wrong." He poured 2 cups of coffee. "I meant what I said." Elena took 1 sip. Her eyes widened. You win. I usually do. She laughed. That sounded incredibly arrogant. It did. He admitted. I'll work on that. Hours passed. They talked. Not about money. Not about business. About childhood dreams. Failures. Family. Loss. Second chances. For the first time in months, Elena forgot Ryan existed. Eventually, Adrian became serious. I want you to understand something. She looked at him. If at any moment you want to leave. He placed his apartment key on the table. You walk out that door. He met her eyes. No questions. No guilt. No pressure. The choice will always be yours. Elena stared at him. No one's ever said that to me. They should have. Silence settled between them. She took a slow step toward him. So, she whispered, what happens if I choose to stay? His voice was equally quiet. Then I kiss you. Their eyes never left each other. She closed the distance. You may? His hand gently touched her face. Their first kiss was slow, tender. Nothing rushed. Nothing demanded. Two wounded hearts simply choosing hope for one evening. Morning sunlight spilled across the room. Elena reached across the bed. It was empty. A handwritten note rested on the pillow. An emergency board meeting called me to Zurich before dawn. Breakfast is waiting in the dining room. Stay as long as you like. Adrian. She smiled without realizing it. As she walked toward the dining room, she stopped in front of a wall covered with magazine covers. Adrian Kingsley, the man who built a billion-dollar empire. Another headline read, the most feared CEO in the country. Elena's eyes widened. Oh no. She grabbed her purse. This cannot be happening. Minutes later, she rushed out of the building. Across the street, hidden behind the tinted window of a parked car, Vanessa slowly lowered a professional camera. She smiled as she reviewed the photographs. There you are, Elena. She zoomed in on the image of Elena leaving Adrian's residence. This is going to ruin you. Vanessa picked up her phone and dialed Ryan. I found exactly what we need. Ryan's voice came through the speaker. What happened? Vanessa's smile grew colder. Our little saint has a very interesting secret. If you're hooked by the twist so far, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more emotional billionaire stories, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Elena should tell Adrian about Vanessa, or keep him out of the drama? The biggest betrayals are still ahead. Vanessa printed the photographs before sunrise. By the time Elena arrived at Sterling Creative Group on Monday morning, whispers followed her through every hallway. Employees glanced at her, then quickly looked away. Others stared openly. One voice whispered just loud enough. So that's how she met a billionaire. Another laughed. I guess talent isn't the only way to get promoted. Elena kept walking. Her shoulders stayed straight, but every word landed like a stone. She reached her desk and found an envelope waiting. Inside was a single photograph of her leaving Adrian's penthouse. Across it, someone had written in red ink, "How much is your promotion worth?" Her fingers tightened around the paper. A familiar perfume reached her before the voice did. Vanessa. Beautiful picture, isn't it? Elena slowly turned. What do you want? Vanessa folded her arms. I want honesty. You wouldn't recognize honesty if it introduced itself. Vanessa chuckled. You've become bold. I've become tired. Ryan walked over. His expression was unreadable. Vanessa held up another photo. If these accidentally reached the board of directors, or the media? She smiled. What do you think people will believe? Elena didn't answer. Vanessa leaned closer. They'll never believe a woman like you simply caught the attention of Adrian Kingsley. Ryan quietly added. People love scandals. Elena looked directly at him. And you would know. Vanessa spoke again. You have until Friday. To do what? And whatever this is. And if I don't? Vanessa smiled. You'll lose everything. She walked away. Ryan hesitated before following. For just a second. He looked guilty. That evening, Elena sat across from Adrian in a quiet restaurant overlooking the river. She pushed her untouched dinner aside. I need to tell you something. Adrian noticed her trembling hands. What happened? She slid the photograph across the table. Vanessa's threat. The rumors. Everything. He listened without interrupting. When she finished, he calmly asked, Is that why you've been avoiding my calls? I didn't want my problems becoming yours. He looked at her steadily. Elena, they'll come after you. They already have. She blinked. What? They investigated me the day I started my first company. He smiled faintly. I survived. She shook her head. This isn't funny. No. He reached across the table. It isn't. She took a deep breath. I think we should stop seeing each other. Silence. Finally, Adrian spoke. Do you want to end this? Tears filled her eyes. No. Then don't. I don't want you dragged into this. He looked at her with complete certainty. I decide what battles I fight. She shook her head. And I decide mine. Another silence settled between them. Then Adrian smiled. There she is. She frowned. What? The woman who refuses to let anyone fight her battles. She managed the smallest smile. I won't be rescued. I know. He nodded. And I won't stand by while someone tries to destroy you. For the first time, neither argued. Instead, they understood each other. Friday arrived. The annual shareholders' conference filled the company's grand auditorium. Executives, investors, clients, reporters, television cameras. Every seat was occupied. Vanessa stood backstage wearing a confident smile. Ryan adjusted his tie. You look pleased. I am. She whispered. By noon, Elena Carter will be unemployed. Ryan forced a smile. Something about this suddenly felt wrong. Inside the auditorium, the CEO stepped to the microphone. Our next agenda concerns allegations involving confidential campaign materials. Vanessa looked toward Elena. This was it. The CEO continued. Miss Carter, please come forward. Hundreds of eyes followed Elena as she calmly walked onto the stage. Vanessa smiled. Then, Elena spoke. Before any decision is made, I'd like permission to present evidence. The CEO nodded cautiously. You may proceed. Elena connected a flash drive to the presentation system. The giant screens flickered. Security footage appeared. The audience watched Vanessa entering the creative archive late at night. Another video. Vanessa removing confidential files. Then, computer records, email timestamps, server logs, everything. Gasps echoed across the auditorium. Vanessa's confident smile disappeared. That's fake, she shouted. It isn't. A calm voice answered from the back. Everyone turned. Adrian Kingsley walked down the aisle. The room instantly stood. Even the CEO straightened. Adrian wasn't there to save Elena. He simply handed the company's legal director an independent forensic report. I was asked to verify whether these files had been manipulated. He looked toward Elena. They have not. The legal director opened the report. His face changed immediately. It's authentic. Elena continued speaking. I discovered deleted server backups. She clicked again. A recorded conversation filled the auditorium. Vanessa's voice echoed through the speakers. Once Elena is gone, Ryan will finally realize he only needs me. Ryan froze. Another recording played. Spread the rumors first. People believe gossip long before they believe the truth. Ryan slowly looked at Vanessa. You used me. Vanessa panicked. I did it for us. There was never an US, Ryan whispered. Security officers entered the room. Vanessa stepped backward. You can't arrest me. One officer calmly replied. Miss Hale, you're being detained on suspicion of corporate fraud, evidence tampering, and blackmail. She looked desperately toward Ryan. Say something. Ryan lowered his eyes. For the first time, he had nothing to say. As security escorted Vanessa out, the room remained silent. Then, applause. It started with one client. Then another. Soon the entire auditorium was standing. Not for revenge. For truth. The CEO approached Elena. I owe you an apology. She smiled politely. I wasn't looking for an apology. What were you looking for? A chance to prove I never stopped being the person I always was. The CEO nodded. You've earned far more than that. He turned toward Ryan. As for you, your failure to report misconduct and your role in encouraging workplace harassment leave this company with no choice. Ryan closed his eyes. I understand. Your employment is terminated effective immediately. Ryan quietly removed his company badge and placed it on the table. Without another word, he walked away. Outside the building, rain had just begun to fall. Ryan caught up with Elena. Can we talk? She nodded. For a long moment, neither spoke. Finally, Ryan sighed. I kept blaming you because it was easier than admitting I was the one who changed. Elena listened quietly. I threw away 6 years for excitement that lasted a few months. His eyes filled with regret. I'm sorry. She believed him. Not because his apology erased the past, but because she no longer needed revenge. I forgive you. Ryan looked hopeful. She gently continued. But forgiveness isn't an invitation back into my life. He smiled sadly. I know. She offered a small nod. I hope one day you become someone you can be proud of. Then she walked away. This time, she never looked back. 6 months later, Adrian stood on the rooftop of his penthouse. The city lights stretched endlessly below. Elena joined him. He smiled. "I've been practicing something." She laughed. "What?" Asking permission. She folded her arms. "Oh." He reached into his pocket. Instead of immediately kneeling, he looked into her eyes. "Elena Carter, may I ask you a life-changing question?" She smiled through happy tears. "You may." Only then did Adrian kneel. Holding out a small velvet box, he said, "You rebuilt your own life. You never asked me to rescue you. You taught me that love isn't about control. It's about walking beside someone." He opened the ring box. "Will you marry me?" Elena's answer came without hesitation. "Yes." As they embraced, the city erupted with fireworks from a festival across the river, painting the night sky with color. 1 year later, a massive business summit filled the city's convention center. A giant screen displayed the newest cover of Visionary Business magazine. Elena Carter, founder and CEO of Carter Creative Studios. The audience erupted in applause as Elena accepted the Entrepreneur of the Year award. Standing in the front row, Adrian applauded with unmistakable pride, not as the billionaire who had made her successful, but as the husband who had watched her earn every step herself. Near the back of the hall, Ryan quietly watched the standing ovation. He smiled to himself, not with bitterness, with acceptance. He finally understood. The woman he had called ordinary had become extraordinary because she never gave up on herself. As Elena stepped down from the stage, Adrian met her halfway. "You know," he teased, "my company still has room for a brilliant creative director." She laughed. "I think I'll keep being my own boss." He offered his arm. "I was hoping you'd say that." Together, they walked toward the future, not defined by betrayal, but by resilience, respect, and a love built on equality. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more emotional billionaire romance stories, and tell us in the comments. What was your favorite moment? Elena exposing Vanessa, Ryan's realization, or Adrian's proposal? Until the next story, remember, the people who underestimate you today may be the ones applauding you tomorrow.